The tips of the pontoons tend to want to dig into the water, and then it wants to flip over on its back.
So you really have to go like this?
You have to, very controlled landing. So one of the things that I recommend to people is when you get into the aircraft, kind of, and you already know 172, so that's the good news, but you kind of want to orient yourself like, what's this? Where's this crossbar? What does this feel like? Because if you're upside down and you're trying to get out of the plane,
you need to know,
how do I get this door open? How do I push myself off? You know, the wing's going to be below you. You're going to swim away from the wing, not toward the wing. So that's the big thing. Now, we're going to do great landing, so that's not going to be an issue. Second thing, ground handling. Those castering gear. They're hard. It's hard to keep it straight. So you use a lot more brake when you're taxiing than you would in a normal, a normal land plane, if you will. The fact that
so you really have to play with power then most of the time.
You pretty much are taxiing with a little bit more power. Like normally you'd be like idle. This you're gonna need just slightly more like a high idle. The big challenge though is just if you look down through the taxiway here, it's just an ever so subtle slope to the right.
And you don't have control of
the taxi, it just wants to go right every time. So that's problem on the land. When you're on your takeoff roll, it's not too big of an issue because you got the rudder will give you directional control. When we're on the water, we have the opposite problem. Once this thing turns into a boat, whatever the wind does to it is what's going to happen to it. So normal boats on the water, whichever way the wind's blowing, they bob their way that way. This, because of all the flight control surfaces, the wings, all the drag, it floats much faster. So today we always land in the wind. Today we'll definitely try to find a nice runway to let us land in the wind. The great news about landing on water is almost no water area has, they don't have wind socks, they don't have a tower telling you where the wind direction is. So we're gonna figure all that out on our own. We'll talk about that when we're up in the air.
No chimneys and smoke to figure out?
Usually not. I mean in the summer. In the winter it's different, but we usually don't fly float planes up here in the winter because if you get water in any water in the floats, when you put it away, the water freezes and expands the seam, and your floats need a lot of expensive repairs. That's about it. Got any questions? I would turn that thing around like this.
Oh shoot. You're right.
You don't have to, but I would prefer you do that.